Welcome back to the channel. Today we will do a quick valuation of Microsoft. For this valuation I use FastGraphs. Here you can see that we have data available up to 2005. As you can see, Microsoft is showing very consistent growth. Their adjusted operational earnings growth is about 13%. So let's start adding some data. Let's add the price, the normal PE and their current valuation. The growth of Microsoft in this time period was 13%. Their normal PE was about 22 times, but their blended PE, which is the current valuation, is almost 33. You can see that very recently their valuation is much higher than many years ago. In order to get more insight in their normal PE ratio for the recent time, we can switch, for example, to a 10-year chart. If you like this kind of quick valuation videos, make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe for the channel for more valuations. Alright, let's move to the 10-year chart. We can now see that their normal PE, about 30, is getting closer and closer to their current valuation of 33. I typically only like to look 1 year ahead, so I'm adjusting the chart a bit. And let's now have a look at the 5-year chart. We can now see that the normal PE is almost exactly the same as the current valuation. We also see that Microsoft has been trading slightly above and slightly below their current valuation. But now the valuation is exactly at the normal PE. It looks like analysts are predicting a growth of 13% for 2025 and also a 13% of growth for 2026. Microsoft is also paying a dividend, but this is a very small dividend of 0.76%. Let's have a look at their fiscal fitness. We can see here that Microsoft is a very strong company. They have been increasing their free cash flow year by year. There's also a large difference between the free cash flow shown in green and the amounts of dividends they are paying out. So they could actually easily pay out more dividends. We can also have a look at the operational cash flow growth. This has also been steady increasing year by year. So let's have a look next if they are buying back shares. This looks to be the case, so they are increasing value for their shareholders by buying back shares over time. Finally, let's have a look at the debt to equity. It looks like this has been increasing up to 2017-2018, but more recently their debt to equity is gradually reducing. So let's have a look how Microsoft is doing compared to the S&P 500. I will use Portfolio Labs for this comparison. It looks like that since the start of the year, the S&P 500 and Microsoft were quite close. After the recent dip, however, probably after the earnings report from Microsoft, there has been a large overperforming of the S&P 500. So let's look at the 5-year chart. We can see on the 5-year chart that Microsoft is almost always above the S&P 500. On the 10-year chart, it looks even more crazy. So we can see that Microsoft has been outperforming the S&P 500 by a very large amount. So it looks like that Microsoft is a very steady grower, which is currently valued at their normal PE. It also looks like Microsoft has been outperforming the S&P 500 year over year. So how do you feel about Microsoft? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this kind of quick valuation, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also make sure to check out my recent portfolio updates and my other valuation videos. I hope to see you in the next one.